If you're scrolling through endless listings trying to decide whether a dedicated beverage fridge is worth the space and the money, I get it. You don't want to end up with another appliance that gathers dust while you're still reaching for the freezer door. The biggest worry is spending on a unit that looks good on the spec sheet but ends up being a hassle to fit into your routine or your patio layout. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'm going to walk through why the Summit 24-inch beverage center might actually be the one that fits, and when it's better to keep looking. First off, the idea of a separate beverage cooler is most appealing to people who entertain a lot. Think backyard BBQs, pool parties, or a home bar that sees daily traffic. The Summit model offers 5 cu.ft of storage, which translates to roughly 30+ cans or a handful of wine bottles, depending on how you arrange them. That's enough space to keep a 6-pack of sodas, a few craft beers, and a couple of larger bottles on hand without having to dig through a kitchen fridge that's also holding leftovers and produce. The design is where it tries to stand out. It's a stainless steel shell with a glass door that gives a modern, almost boutique vibe. In a patio setting, that glass panel lets you see the stock at a glance. No need to open the door and let warm air in. If you place it under a covered pergola, the sleek look can blend with other outdoor fixtures without looking like a makeshift cooler. For indoor use, say a kitchen island or a home bar, the stainless exterior matches most contemporary appliances, and the glass door adds a touch of class rather than the plain metal you see on many cheap units. Now, let's talk about the practical side of installation. The unit measures 24 inches wide, which is a common width for standard cabinets, but you'll still need a dedicated spot that can handle a 110-volt plug and a little clearance for ventilation. The back of the unit isn't just a decorative panel, it has ventilation grills that need a few inches of space to pull in cool air. If you're planning to tuck it into a tight corner, make sure you leave that breathing room, or you'll notice the temperature wobble after a few hours of heavy use. Power consumption is another hidden trade-off that's easy to overlook. The Summit fridge uses a compressor system similar to a full-size refrigerator, so it draws more electricity than a thermoelectric cooler would. For most households, that extra draw is a few dollars a month, but if you're wiring it to a solar setup or a generator for a remote cabin, you'll want to factor that in. The unit does have an internal thermostat, so you can set it to a higher temperature if you're only storing soft drinks, which helps shave off a bit of the energy cost. Who should definitely consider buying this? If you host weekly gatherings where guests expect a steady supply of cold drinks, the convenience of having a dedicated cooler can't be overstated. Imagine a summer evening by the pool. You can walk over, pull the glass door open, and hand a chilled beer without running back into the kitchen. It also works well for families with kids who want a snack of juice boxes after school. You keep those in a separate unit, freeing up space in the main fridge for perishables. For people who have a small kitchen but a larger outdoor entertaining area, this unit can essentially become the outdoor pantry for beverages, keeping the indoor fridge from becoming a bottleneck. On the flip side, if you're a solo dweller who rarely entertains or you already have a full-size fridge with a built-in beverage shelf, the Summit might be overkill. The price point reflects the stainless steel finish and glass door, not a high-tech cooling system, so you're paying for aesthetics as much as for function. If you're looking for a cheap, portable cooler for camping trips, you'll find this unit far too permanent and power-hungry. Likewise, if you have limited floor space and can't guarantee a ventilated spot, the unit could end up humming loudly in a cramped corner, which defeats the purpose of a sleek, quiet addition to your space. One of the strengths that shows up in real-world use is the temperature consistency when the door stays closed. Users have reported that a single bottle of soda placed at the back of the unit stays chilled for days, even after the ambient temperature climbs into the 90s. That's because the insulated walls and the glass door create a microenvironment that resists rapid warming. In contrast, a traditional fridge placed in a kitchen where the door is opened dozens of times a day will struggle to keep a full rack of drinks at the ideal 35-40 F. So, for anyone who wants a set-it-and-forget-it solution for cold beverages, this model delivers. A practical weakness that shows up once you have the unit in place is the door seal.